welcome to UltimateE's Battle of the Beasts. It is round 3 and the grand finale here at the G-Way. What a sensational track this is, and we've had 2 absolutely unbelievable days of racing. We're joined by 3 very special guests and 12 Indian drivers. These 3 guests from across the globe. It's been a cracker because the last couple of days has been some very, very close racing, and the championship right now is closer than ever. I'm joined by Sohail. Sohail, how are you?
I'm all good today as well. How are you?
Good man, thanks. So an exciting day ahead of us. We're going to be at Fuji Super Speedway today. We've got our 15 boys on track. We've also got Aditya Patel racing with us, which is exciting for him to be joining this crew. So we're in for a cracker because this is going to be one hell of a contender for the championship, the grand finale.
Yeah, for sure. The championship is very, very close right now, and with the way these guys are going on for it, I think it's going to be really close. And we have Aditya Raghav in P1 right now, so he's looking to take on the challenge of the international drivers and show them the Indian might.
Because he's been super consistent, and we're now in qualifying 1. We've got 2 races today, ladies and gentlemen. We're at Fuji Super Speedway for UltimateE's Battle of the Beasts. Race 1 and race 2. Race 1, we're going to have a 10-minute qualifying session, out of which we have about 8.5 minutes left. Then it's going to be followed by a 7-lap race. Race 2 will be a full reverse grid of race 1, and that's going to be followed by a 9-lap race after that. That's going to be 2 exciting races that we've got ahead of us because we've got some supreme talent on the grid today. To take you through the drivers, last time out we had Angel Estrada, who's not joining us today unfortunately, from Chile, but he's going to be replaced by Aditya Patel, and we're so excited to have him, the co-founder of UltimateE and the X1 Racing League, so it's going to be great watching go around. We've then got our 2 other very, very special guests, Assosiation from Argentina and Patrick the Machine Blazen from Hungary, our Williams esports driver who currently leads the championship with 36 points. Then have Aditya Bakshi, Aditya Patnaik and Aditya Raghav. The 3 Adityas are going to take the battle to Patrick and Assosiation at the moment, and Aditya Raghav doing a superb job because the championship right now is very, very close, with him currently in 4th or 5th place. Then Dylan Zatria, Kunal Vinod, DK, Pratik Prakash, Pratik Benya, Ravi Kiran Bisa, Shamim Fahad, Tariq Rahman and Zohair. These guys have been up and down the grid. Pradumna's had some great finishing over the last couple of weekends, but let's see what he can do taking it against these guys. And we've got 7 minutes to go to qualifying. They're all just setting their laps. We're going to have a big down to about the last couple of minutes, so they're all going to be showing what their absolute speeds are. Because we saw in practice that they were all sandbagging at some point.
Yeah, definitely. It's very important to sandbag at times, just to kind of throw your opponent off, thinking that they're fast when the other drivers can go faster, and that's kind of a strategy that many drivers do. In fact, we do it in real life as well. So that just shows that's just a competitive nature of every driver. But as everybody has just now completed the lap times, we see Aditya Raghav go quickest and Assosiation in P2, and we still get to see a lap time from Patrick yet.
Because I think Patrick's, we've seen him do this a couple of times. He comes out right in the last couple of minutes, and that's an absolute flyer when no one can touch him after that. So we're used to seeing him do that. Hopefully he's going to surprise us today, or rather Aditya Raghav or Assosiation can take the fight here, because Patrick has been absolutely supreme over the last couple of weekends, and that brings us to our championship standings, because as we talked about Patrick being supreme, he is now leading the championship with 36 points, followed by Angel Estrada, and we wish we had him here because it would be a super close fight between them with 28 points, and Assosiation now in 3rd place with who inherits rather 2nd place with 23 points. We have Ravi Kiran now, who made a super comeback with those podiums the last time out, took the fight to the guys from Chile and Argentina, and he sits there in 4th place with 6 points. Aditya Raghav then in 5th place with 15 points. Shamim with 13 points, then Pratik with 10 points, and Pradumna with 9 points. So the guy is Sohail right in the back. We look at Ravi Kiran, Aditya Raghav, Shamim, Pratik, Pradumna. It's 16, 15, 13, 10 and 9 between these guys. There's absolutely nothing in it.
Yeah, this is going to be a midfield battle royale this time.
I mean, that's exactly what we're looking forward to, because even at the top, if Patrick does there we go, as we talk about Patrick, he goes on and sets the fastest lap, 3 tenths ahead now. Aditya Raghav, we know he's got a lot more left in the tank. probably just without lap pace at the moment. But as we said, that's a great showing right now by Altair with 5 minutes to go to qualifying, because he is now in second place, and that's hard to beat. Someone like assosiation. Assosiation, ladies and gentlemen, is a GT World, is a GT Sport World Tour 2020 champion and the World Final 2018 champion. So he is. This is a world class talent. He's going up against a 3 minutes ahead with 4.5 minutes to go. This is superb to watch. But as they stand right now, so Patrick, like we've seen, is first with Raghav in second place. Assosiation then in third place. Ravi Kiran in fourth. Pradima Prakash in fifth. Swaggy Dylan Zakia. We're waiting to see a lot of him because we've been talking about him a lot. And in sixth place right now, let's see what he can do. Kunal Vinod in seventh and DK7 8. That's brilliant watch right now, Soil.
Yeah, I mean, as we speak of Patrick being in first place, he just had a blistering lap time, and he's gone another second ahead of Aditya Raghav in P1. And we probably can just, and he's gone in fact even more quicker through the first sector on this new lap. But as we're now on board with him, I believe this corner is called the 100R. I'm not too sure, but it's a very tricky corner to get right, and it's a really fun track. What do you think, man?
It is a super fun track, and like Saul was saying, it's got one of the longest straights on the calendar. It's a 4.5 kilometer track with 16 corners, a 1.4 kilometer main straight. It's super long, and the kind of slipstream that we get in this game with these cars especially, it's going to be great because we're going to see a lot of cars overtaking there. And it's got some iconic corner names. The first corner that we go down to the turn 3, which is Coca-Cola, the 100R, the hairpin, into 300R and Dunlop, into 12, 11, 13 into Nets, then the Panasonic hairpin, until we get down that long start finish straight again. But so I'm just waiting for Williams to come around this last bend again. Why don't you take us through a lap of Fruity?
Yeah, sure, I don't mind. But now as he comes out of the last corner, I think he's gonna go to the pits. I think he's happy with his lap time. He's not gonna break his head on that.
I think, yeah, he's got 1 second now ahead of Aditya Raghav. He's putting the time, but out of nowhere, it looks like Kunal Vinod now in third place. It's a great showing for him. But yeah, broadcast can probably get on board with someone who's probably coming around the last corner. We will get so well to take it to a lap. I think, yeah, we're on board with Aditya Raghav. Hopefully he's going. I think he might just come in the pits again. He does not look like he is pushing well, or he is. So why don't you take us through this lap?
Yeah, well, he's coming down this long straight. Can get pretty boring, but it is what it is. So as he now just starts the lap, and he in fact has improved 7 tenths on this lap, so that's another improvement. But as you head towards turn 1, heavy braking, make sure to get it right. You miss it, and then it's over because it's a very tight right-hander, and it's very important to get the exit right because you have a mid straight after that, and then the next left-hander, quick tap on the brakes and back on the throttle to carry as much speed as you can, and then 130 the long right-hander, very tricky on the throttle, and it's very important to get the speed right, otherwise you will lose a lot of momentum coming into this left-hander that you're watching right now, using full track width on the exit, and then you have a double right-hander that is pretty easy flat, and then you have the Dunlop curves, I believe. Again, another pretty heavy braking zone. Important to get this right-hander right. It's a very flowing corner, flowing section, which requires first initial corner to be perfect to get the flow right. And again, now this right-hander going uphill, very tricky braking because you're braking and turning at the same time. Important to get the apex right as you go. Use the full weight of the track, and the last corner again, you're braking and turning at the same time, makes it very tricky, very easy to lock up, and very easy to get oversteer as you just saw, and back onto the main straight. And I believe he's going to be pitting this lap. We have just 1 minute left in qualifying now. Do you think we might have Esposito pick up some pace and come back, because he's falling off he's falling down?
Because Esposito for sure. I'm definitely he's going to go back out. There we go. I think he's warming his tires up coming out that last bend, because he's got a monster this car coming out of the lap. That's for sure. But like Soil said, less than a minute now left to qualifying with Patrick Machine Blast in first place. Aditya Raghav, very impressive second place now. Pradima Prakash out of nowhere third place. Must have put an absolute flyer of a lap with Shamim. Kunal Vinod are coming up in fourth place. So it's all changing very quickly as we go down this last minute. Because Kunal Vinod, we didn't actually see him up there, and Dylan Zakia 6 minutes, brilliant up there as well. As to see them now in 7, I'm sure he's going to put in an absolute flyer this time, because there we go. We can see him pushing. See how hard he's been pushing that car. But Ravi Kiran, then again, we've got Ravi Kiran in 8th place, Nikhil in 9th, and Pratik Bhatia now in 10th place. So there we go. Our top 10 at the moment. With the quickest man they need to catch is a 121.9, which is super quick at this point in time. These guys are doing, these guys are doing about, there we go. There we go, Patrick. There we see his real pace at the moment of 120 flat so here.
That's a monster lap.
That's a monster, like you call him. We got these guys now. I think they're coming in on the last couple of seconds of qualifying, all setting their absolute highs at the moment. But there, Patrick the Machine Blazna, Williams esports driver and special guest today, has absolutely monstered that lap. 2.1 seconds now ahead of Aditya Raghav in second place. Prakash looks like he's being run in pits now, third place. Is he done with his qualifying? Because we might just get taken by people like Kunal, Shami, who are super quick. Ravi Kiran, Asposito, they're all on absolute flyers. That's yet to be said, because so right now we've only got another 1 minute left for all these guys. Pretty much the lobby will clear up and everyone will go back in the pits, all finish qualifying. Asposito to move. There we go. Asposito, ladies and gentlemen, from Argentina, moves up, taking almost a second off of Patrick, almost 1.2 seconds out of Patrick. So he's now about 8/10 off the pace, but that was an absolute monster of a lap by Patrick. So
yeah, we can see Asposito again. He's come back at the end of the session, and that I think caught Aditya Raghav a bit off guard, because I think he was pretty happy with his lap time when he went into the pits, and now he's all of a sudden dropped down one more position. So it just shows how much these guys sandbag even at the start of qualifying.
Yeah, because these guys, I mean, these guys are they're all world class athletes. Patrick represents the Williams esports team. Asposito is the multiple world GT Sport World Tour champion. So these guys are up there. They're all there in their field. So we see them. So 1 second now between him and Aditya Raghav. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, our qualifying for race number 1 is now complete. We do have our results, and we're going to go straight into the race right now. We're racing the SF19 cars. These cars have been superb. We're doing all the grid is just lining up. It's going to be a rolling start. It's a 7-minute race. There's a seven times fuel and tires between a seven times the normal race. So we're going to see pit stops for sure. So there we go. We have Patrick the Machine Blajan on pole position. Asposito Cajal from Argentina in second. On the ancient web, Aditya Raghav in third place. Pratibha Prakash, monster of a lap up into fourth place. Kunal Vinod, great to see him there. There we go. The rolling start, ladies and gentlemen, like we called it. They're going to come straight across the finish line with Patrick the Machine leading them through that finish line right now. Start finish straight at the moment. And then we're going to see this heat blast away with 3. And the lights go green and away they go. We have Patrick the Machine leads them away here at Fuji for race number 1, followed by Asposito Cajal. Ancient Aditya Raghav with Pratibha Prakash getting a great slipstream on Aditya Raghav. He's going to make a move coming in the first corner. I think not. He thinks against it, but it seems to be like there hasn't been too much cars. Oh, we see a lot of cars there getting involved in the back with the 6, 7, 8. I think Swaggy Gilly seems to have lost a little bit of time. Vinod seems to have dropped down a bit in the places as well. But there we go. At the moment, we have Patrick the Machine leading us up in front. Asposito Cajal in second. Aditya Raghav in third place. Pratibha Prakash now in fourth place. And very, very close to Aditya Raghav. People super honest at the moment with about 700 between them. And there's a big train behind them. And we see these guys, between Shami and Ravi Kiran as well, battling through the 5th and 6th at the moment. This is getting super close between the two of them. And Ravi Kiran is throwing everything at Shami to get that place back. And it's getting super hard to do so as they come into the last sector of this lap. This is madness.
Yeah, this is we see quite a lot of action coming up right on the first lap itself, and we can't not expect more coming through the rest of the laps. But we do see these some people struggling and some people trying to make up positions. And I did see a couple of guys in the back were having some penalties already, and there is a very interesting line by Pratik Penya there, but he's gonna get all that slipstream back coming down the main straight.
Because it's Pratik, we haven't seen too much of him, and he's up there right now, trying to battle his way back to the pack again. But remember, he's going to be a full reverse grip the next race out. And of course, with 5 laps to go now, this is a 7-lap race. These guys are going to be pitting at some point in time, so we're going to be waiting for them. But there we go, right up in front now, between Asposito Cajal and Patrick the Machine, half a second in it. Absolutely nothing in it between these two. And these two are world-class talent. The Williams esports driver against the Argentinian. This is brilliant to watch, because last time out, Angle and Patrick gave us something to talk about, something to look forward to in the entire race, battling it out. And behind them, we've got now Arthur Raghav in third place. He seems to have dropped him a little bit, and he seems to have dropped Pradyumna Prakash in fourth place. So settling down quite nicely right now. The long train now for following Pradyumna Prakash now with 1 second behind him. He's got Shami. So these guys are so well. As they start to settle down with 2 laps completed, these guys are now slowly starting to settle down. I think they're minding the tires, minding the pace. They know there is a championship on the line because Ravi Kiran is now right. Ravi Kiran and between Ravi Kiran and Arthur Raghav, team Pratik and Pradyumna. There's about 7 points between these guys.
Yeah, definitely. As you said that we have increased tire wear and fuel for this race, which means that we will be seeing some pit stops even from guys like Patrick Machine. This should get interesting for the midfield in the championship, and I'm just interested to see how it turns out at the end of this.
Because what's been happening is the championship has been super close. Up in front, Patrick has been winning pretty much every single race. Last time, what Angle in his Strasa gave him such a hard time and won both races on Panorama. And this time, assosiation seems like it's taking the battle to him. He's settling down a little bit because I think he's just trying to mind his tires, mind his fuel. This is about 4 more laps. It's a shortish race at the moment. So we are going to see these guys for sure at some point maybe make a pit stop. But it's settling down the top 4 right now. Seems to have settled down a little bit. I thought I saw Shami catching Pradyumna Prakash a little bit of time, but there we go. For 7th, 8th, 9th, we've got between Dylan Zakia, Lee Keshav, and Kunal Vinod. There seems to be a lot of battling going on. Pratik, there we go, 10th place, going wide on the top pass speed. Lee Keshav right now on the tail of Dylan Zakia. It's going to go through. That's a very hard corner to overtake going in the next right now. That's a super hard section to overtake. I think he's going to mind his time a little bit. Lee Keshav, wait for that long start to the straight, and then get on the power early to see get into the slipstream and then get it past on number 1, because during while we go to 13, 14, 15, 16, it's super hard to overtake through here. Oh, I think Nikesh has made a mistake and got a bit wide. Is he going to hand that place? I think he has handed that place to Kunal Vinod. So Nikesh has got the place to Kunal Vinod right now, but he's going to battle the back because now we're down the start to straight in 7. Like we said, there we go for 8, 9, and 10 in the moment. Kunal Vinod, Nikesh, and Pratik right now having a super battle. Pratik moving on that slipstream. Oh, he's going to get a double slipstream if he can. Keep it together, but there we go. 3 wide now going into turn 1. I wonder who's going to break last between Kunal Vinod and Pratik Penya. I think Lee Keshav has lost a little bit. Or he's just holding back. And oh man, this is some brilliant racing.
Oh yeah, definitely. We did expect all of this coming into this race, and with the midfield being so tight in terms of the championship as well, nobody's going to hold back today, and we just can expect more coming into race 2 now.
Because these guys, I mean, like you said, the championship right now is wide open, ladies and gentlemen. There's 5 points between the top, between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's everything to fight for at this point in time. Assosiation looks like he's been hitting the penalty with 1.5 seconds, but he's got a decent gap to Arthur Raghav, about 2.3 seconds. So Arthur Raghav, in the next 3 laps, if he can put in some pace, I wonder if he's going to be able to catch Assosiation in the pit stop, because it looks like Ravi Kiran again, fifth place, also seems to be riding on board of the penalty, but seems to backs off massively because the penalty seems to be disappearing rather quickly as we follow him on board. There we go. So this is now settling down. 3 laps left to go. With Patrick the Machine starting in first place, Assosiation in second, and Arthur Raghav in third.
Yeah, I think we did see Shamim make a mistake as well, because he's down into P11 now, and that's given almost everybody 1 place up except for Pradyumna Prakash, Ancient Pleb, and Assosiation and Patrick. But we can see Patrick setting lap times that were set for P3 in qualifying, so he's absolutely pushing the limits, and he's just trying to get the biggest margin possible to win this race.
Because where I'm sitting right now, with about 1.5 laps left to go, he looks like he's got enough fuel in the tank to take this all great in the end. So while he's setting fastest laps, he's been managing to save his fuel and tires, and that's a really respectable driving for him.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna be one of the good drivers. He is one of the best drivers on this game, and we've seen that in front of our eyes, and it just shows that what he's doing makes so much sense.
because the top four right now in a league of their own. But 1 second now between I think Kiran and Pratibha Prakash. So with 2 laps to go, I don't see any of these guys fitting at the moment. They all seem to have enough fuel, especially the top three, to take it towards the end. So I mean, if you were in this battle at the moment and you had to pit, what would your strategy be? Because 2 laps to the end now, 1.5 rather to the end now. I highly doubt we're going to see any of these guys pitting.
I mean, yeah, if my conditions of my tires and the fuel as you see on your screens right now, there was not a chance I would pit, because I'd rather save a little bit, maybe lose some time, expect the other guys to pit, but I wouldn't risk the pit stop, because I'll just lose way too much time.
Because right now we've still got, as we got what, our penultimate lap right now, with 1 lap left to go. We have Patrick the Machine comfortably out in front with Asposito Kahal in second place, Arthur Raghu in third, fourth, seconds to Ravi Kiran. So it looks like I think Pavitra Prakash has made a mistake, or he's gone into the pits, because he has now dropped off on timings. So I wonder what's happened there. Or he could not save his fuel, because that's moved Ravi Kiran up to fourth and Swaggy Dilly Zachary up in fifth place. There we go, Pratibha Prakash in ninth place. So I think he's run out of fuel or made a mistake rather.
No, I think he's spitted, because if you have a look at his tire wear right now, it's at max. So I think he's gone for a pit stop.
So I think he must have run out of fuel at that point. He got into a pit stop. But Pradyumna, that was a fox race. You just give it away, my friend. That was an insane little move. But let's see if in 1 lap you can make up 5 places. It's going to be hard to do. But there we go, out in front now with a 1 point, almost 2 second lead. Williams Maros, Patrick the Machine Blazna. Williams esports driver is now on to the final lap, followed very closely by Asposito, who's gotten rid of that penalty. 7 seconds behind Asposito now. Aditya Raghav, then Ravi Kiran in fourth place. This is going to give Aditya Raghav and Ravi Kiran. There is 1 point between these two. Ravi Kiran in fourth place, Aditya Raghav in fifth place. There's 1 point between these two, and this is going to give Aditya Raghav, I think, about 3 points more than going to race number 2 ahead of Ravi Kiran. This is not a battle. This is not a super race of pride at the moment.
Yeah, I think this is no longer the battle of the bees. It's like battle between the cities.
Yeah, because these guys now, I mean, there's absolutely nothing else at this point in time, especially the championship, of course. With half a lap to go, we still have Patrick the Machine blasting up in front. We're on board now. It's like Dili did exactly how things about leakation. But I think the biggest loser in all of this has been Pratibha Prakash and Aditya Patel now in 10th place. So I think he's not punted in the start, because he started quite up there. He started rather high up there, but looks like he's lost a little bit of time, trying to make it back up. But now up into 10th place is Aditya Patel, the co-founder of UltimateE. So great to watch him drive, great to watch him participate, taking Ankle Rastra's display. But there we go, as we come across the line on our final lap, where the checkered flag has now dropped. Patrick the Machine Bloughton, who's going to win for the first time on race 1 in Fuji, followed by Asposito Kahal, 2.6 seconds behind him. Now 9 seconds behind is Aditya Raghav. So he's made sure he's got enough points now to go ahead of Ravi Kiran in the championship in 4th place. But Asposito in that second place, brilliant drive. Ravi Kiran now in 4th place. But behind him a long train, Swaggy did exactly on 4th. Kunal Vinod in 6th place, just running out of fuel and saving it. But leakage in 7th place. Pratibha Prakash, oh, is he? Has he? Yeah, he has run out of fuel. Pratibha Prakash now is finishing in 8th place. Pratik in 9th place. Shamim in 10th place. And Aditya Patel in 11th place, just running out of fuel as well. What a super race, while there hasn't been a lot of action towards the end. I think a couple of guys seem to be handling some penalties as well. But towards the end, that was a cracker. Watching these guys come across the line, but it's just about held it. While the move, just about had enough fuel to get across it. But there we go. Patrick the Machine Bloughton takes victory for race number 1 in Fuji soil.
Yeah, it was just a brilliant drive from him. Start to finish, he led it, no mistakes, and kept Asposito honest to even keep up with him. So that actually led to Asposito making a mistake going for race 2. So mid-race he made a mistake, which gave him almost a 2-second penalty, which then took all the pressure off Patrick. And what a brilliant drive!
Yeah, it's just, I think that's exactly what we saw, because he's now again showed his class. I think with that, he probably win the championship. It's going to give him 10 full points with 46 points now after race number 1. And since Asposito in second place would have gotten 8 points, so he now I think that now Patrick's most probably, if my calculations are right, has won the championship on the international side. But it's still super close with the Indian drivers. And ladies and gentlemen, If you're joining us, it's UltimateE Battle of the Beasts. It just finished race number 1, where Patrick the Machine Blasen has taken this stupendous victory, followed closely by Asposito Kahal and Azdia Raga for the Indians in third place. We're now going to go on to race number 2. It's going to be a full reverse grid. So people like Mr. mentioned earlier, people like Asposito, like Patrick, like Aditya Raghav are all on the side of the back of the grid. We're going to see guys like Aditya Patel, Pratibha Prakash, who lost out a little bit with that pit stop. These guys, Lee Keshav, Kunal Viral, all these guys are starting from the front of the grid. So it's going to be crazy for with this mix and this track. It's so. I mean, it's brilliant overtake, of course, but since it's so super tricky and tricky to the last 2 sectors, the only real place you can overtake is down that big back straight.
Yeah, there is the main straight, and even after turn 1, there is pretty decent straights. If the car in front manages to make a small mistake and you don't, then you do have an opportunity. And even if you're on the outside, it's a fast left-hander, which is still possible to keep it on the outside, because after that it's a very long hairpin kind of turn, the 100R. And if you're on the inside for that corner, there's no chance you're not going to gain a position there. So that's another opportunity that the drivers do have. And you also have the Dunlop chicane. If you're close enough, then you can go in for a late move, and as long as it's clean, it's valid, right?
Absolutely, like he's so long as it's clean, it's valid. I've spoken like a true racing driver. The mindset does not change. Esports or real racing. That's what I've noticed. You are not in the commentary box. There's never a real right answer. But we're just waiting for the grid to be set, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go racing in absolutely no time. In a couple of minutes, we will be doing race number 2. It's going to be a full reverse grid, as I mentioned earlier. So the quicker drivers that finished up in front for race number 1 will now finish behind. I think there we go. I think our no, not yet. It's not yet set. But there we go. We're joined also by Patrick, Asposito, who are our international drivers. These some world-class sim racing talent that we have on our platform, Racing Against Indian guys. And so and if you were I know Aditya has been talking to these guys a lot and getting information on how he can save his tires, how he can save his fuel, go the race distance. And we've seen that come through, because if you remember, when we started watching him on Saturday, he did have to pit. But come to Wednesday, 5 days later, he's figured out how to manage that fuel and doesn't have to pit coming into a 7-lap race.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so important to gather all the information that you can from everybody possible, and that's basically how you improve, right? Every weekend that you drive or every race that you drive is always a learning curve, and there's always so much to learn out of it. Even though if you know everything, you probably don't know almost everything. So even if you go ask Lewis Hamilton or one of the Formula 1 drivers, I'm pretty sure they would also be saying that they're learning something or the other, even the smallest detail out of every weekend. So it's always a learning process, and as we've always heard, nobody's perfect, are they?
Exactly, because I mean, it's motorsport at the end of the day, and so as a racing driver, you're constantly reaching perfection, and you're always going after something that the world doesn't really see very much. You're going after tenths, you're going after absolute tenths of a second. So that's kind of perfection that you guys go after, right?
Yeah, even if it's not on track, like even on off track, you have to make sure that you're physically fit. And even for esports, actually, on doing long endurance races, like there are 24-hour races, there are 6-hour long races, there are 12-hour long races as well, and to be able to compete in those and be consistent like you would be usually, I think it's very important to have yourself fit as well, and even for a sim race. So even what you do off track in terms of fitness is going to make a big difference as to how you're going to perform.
Alright, so thank you for that info, because here we go. We are in race number 2. This is our starting race. We have Aditya Patel starting on pole with Shamim in second place, Pratik in third, Pratibha Prakash up in fourth place, Lee Keshav in fifth, Kunal Vinod in sixth, Swaggy Dilly in seventh, and Ravikiran in 8th place on this point in time. Like I said, it's going to be a rolling start, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys, so Aditya is going to lead them across the line, and then we will see 3, 2, 1, and the lights will go green, and we will be racing for race number 2 in G. This is a 9-lap race. And there we go. 3, 2, 1. The lights go green. And Aditya Patel is off. Followed by Shamim. Shamim immediately getting into a slipstream. Getting into both that slipstream. We see between those two. But there we go. We see Shamim now. On Aditya's gearbox. He's trying to go around the other. It's very hard to overtake around the outside of turn number 1. But there we go. There's all bunched up. It's like go a little bit wide. And we lost a couple of places. But then the top 4 as it stands with Aditya Patel. Shamim when he fell down. He's trying to get it very, very close. Whoa, it's a leakation of going very wide, getting pushed off track. Both guys bouncing off each other's wheels. The Prakash has come off, or leakation has come off the glass. But there we go. I think now Pratik is coming to his back as well. Shamim is going around the inside line. Going to have the outside line, which gives Aditya Patel a little run right now. Coming in the last corner into the double up chicane and then stands. Can he defend? Because Shamim 24 is on his gearbox. That's going to give him a great little run in second number 3. Coming in turns number 13, 14, 15 with Pratik and Chandra Prakash right behind him. His top 4 is bunched up. Absolutely nothing between it. There's half a second to stop point behind them. For 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These guys are battling with each other. Now we get it now in 7th place. Maini lost a couple, one in 8th place. Nikesha seems to be the biggest losers going in 10th place. After now has gone some up to 11th place. I wonder what's happening with William Gismo trying because Asposito, oh there we are. In 5th and 6th place now. Asposito and Battles the Machine are going wheel to wheel. But then we go 7, 8, 9, 10. We have Swaggy exactly now going to take my Battles the Machine margin in place. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars there. Going in a turn number 5 cars going in a turn number 1. It's going to be a mad one last minute record. There is Zachary seems to hold on Patrick at the moment. That is some mad racing because Patrick has now come out ahead of that battle into 7th place and Asposito as well in 6th place. There we go, up in front right now. It looks like Aditya Patel is pulled out a little bit of a gap because Pratik Prakash is moved up in the 2nd place. So Pratik is there to pull out on 4th. My God, I need a catch my breath so his ring has moved.
Yeah, I mean, like Rivers Kid always brings up so many interesting races because you have the faster drivers trying to get through the slower cars, and this is what brings out all the.
As they're talking right there, Asposito and Shamim getting into a little tussle. Asposito pushing Shamim a little wide. Shamim coming back at Asposito right now, giving him his own treatment, and Shamim up in the 5th place with Asposito and Patrick the Machine now in 6th and 7th. Shamim, I think it's become a little bit of a penalty. We can lose it up, but Asposito now is going on the inside of Shamim down the last corner. But Shamim might just get out of his gearbox and break the swing. But William Tomorrow, which is Patrick the Machine, not now getting a super drive. Coming on that last corner, and Shamim just might lose 2 places, 2 corners, going from 5th down to 7th, giving his place up around ahead in the lead. At the point is Aditya Patel now in 1st place with 3 laps completed, 6 to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see these guys swing, but the way they're pushing, I think Shamim's gone wide. Shamim did go wide, and Asposito there has taken that position. Shamim 94 seems to be putting up a great fight right now for him.
Yeah, this turned out to be really good. In fact, Williams, Fuaros or Patrick the Machine Blanche being held up by Shamim like that is going to give Asposito a small advantage in the championship because then if they manage to get into an incident, then there might be chances that Asposito might just get enough points for him to win the championship. And now that's the only thing that could probably make the championship winner interesting as he gets the notch.
Just as you said it, I think we've all made a mistake going in because Ravi Kiran went wide, then Patrick the Machine went wide. So Swaggy Tilly made up 2 places, and Patrick seems to have lost out the most there with Swaggy Tilly going up and all his hard work where he tried to overtake Shamim also going away because Asposito now is up in the 5th place, battling very hard with about 2 tenths between them, coming on the last turn, going up this long short straight. Now one of them is going to get a slipstream through here because he's super close. Not some great drive there. We can only see he's getting that slipstream and he's going to get the job done. But Aditya Patel now are in front, 3 seconds ahead of Chandra Prakash. Behind France, there's a big train of cars forming. But this is super one, so Aditya Patel are first.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aziz has always seen me on track, and now I'm seeing him on track. It just feels a bit different, and it's good to see him winning the race for now at least. And I just hope that he keeps. I'm sure the full UltimateE team would be backing him right now.
For sure, because right now, I mean, with Arthur in first place, Asposito is making some big ground. He's overtaking Kunal and now after Pratik Banya for third spot on the podium. Pratik going a little bit wide there. Asposito now is going to get a great drive going in the Dunlop again. For sure, coming through this, he just might get up in that third podium spot. By now, we get the Dunlop. Oh, I don't think that's close. He's not as close as we thought he would be. We go. Asposito Kahana got some super drive coming out. He's pushing Pratik through and he's getting up in that third place even before they get through the last sector. It's a super racing wheel to wheel. Pratik should have got back at him, but he's not going to be able to do it. I think Pratik, there we go. Asposito's got a little bit wide, which is going to give Pratik a great drive in that last corner. And if he can get under his gearbox, he can get super drive going into that, going into the start finish straight. But Asposito as it stands in third place and William Tomorrow in seventh place at the moment. So 4 spots between them. And it's a great battle because we saw this last time out between Ravi Kiran and Patrick the Machine Lawson. He's not making it easy. He's got to first, making Patrick go the wide way around, the long way around the outside. And fourth and fifth place now. I think even for fourth and fifth, between Leakation and Pratik, there's some people coming up. I think there's a battle coming up there as well between these guys. So let's just see where we are because right now we have Arthur Patel in first place. Followed very closely with Pratik, and then we have and then we've got I think is it and then we've got Lee Keshav. I think it's now gone back to the start. But Sohail, this has been super to watch from the beginning because it's been action all the way up and down. Like you said, reverse grid, always giving us some great racing to watch.
Yeah, definitely. We are now seeing Asposito in third place. He's done well to bring it up after those few incidents with Shamim. And now he's almost caught up to Pradyumna Prakash and he's ready to take that second place. And then I believe he's got enough laps to maybe catch up to Aditya Patel with the pace that he's carrying.
Because right now, Patrick seems to made up a place. He's got ahead of Ravi Kiran, and now he's right on the tail, or he was right on the tail of Kunal and Pradeep. They got him there. They just find him jumping the pits at the moment because there we go. He's now with 4 laps, half a tank of fuel. He's on the charge right now. Got 6 seconds off the lead up ahead of him. Pretty sure he can make it up because he's now up in the third place. I think with all the rest of the guys behind him pitting.
Asposito himself has gone into the pits as well, so this is going to be interesting. Are we going to see people like Aditya Patel, Pradyumna Prakash in the pits, or are they going to stay out to the end?
We know for a fact that Pradyumna Prakash didn't have the pace, didn't have enough to go around for 7 laps. So at some point he's going to pit. That we know. But behind him, between Kunal and Pratik, right now, the great battle is brewing between the two of them because they've been going wheel to wheel for a while, which is going to help Asposito, I think, catch up to them very quickly. There we go, 4th and 5th place between Pratik and Kunal. Kunal is not getting him go at all, keeping it clean as he can. But Pratik, there we go. I think he made a little mistake. Kunal's made a mistake, gone well wide. Pratik's taken that position away from him. Going into 300R in the Dunlop chicane. He's got enough to lead, but Kunal is carrying 1 second penalty. So let's see in that slipstream. Let's see if we can keep Pratik in that slipstream. There we go. Asposito now in 6th place. He's come out of the pits. Patrick right now in 3rd place. So it's going to be close if Patrick does pit. Because the battle here, we go 4th, 5th, and 6th. Is Asposito taking 2 places in 1 corner? I think he does. I think he's managed to do it. This is brilliant. Yeah, Kunal and I think Asposito's got a little bit wide because Kunal and Pratik are coming back at each other. And there we go. That's 3 wide into the last corner down the front to the straight. Kunal has gone back out as Pratik in the middle of the screen. And now Asposito making 2 places up left in 2 corners. Up in the 4th place. I think up in the 3rd with Pradyumna Prakash should have gone in the pits as well. Yeah, but now he's in the pits. So Asposito now in the 3rd place. Which means Pratik up in the 4th place. And Kunal in the 5th with Aditya Patel. A 3-second lead out in front. I don't think that's going to be enough. It does look like with 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean 3 seconds is quite a lot, but still we know that the pace that Patrick has is a lot quicker than most of the drivers on the grid right now. And with 3 laps to go, including this one, and expected pit stops from both the drivers at the front, I don't know what to say. It's going to be very close right now, honestly.
As you were saying that, I mean, Pratik was throwing everything he had at Asposito trying to get his car ahead of him, but he's still keeping tabs with him with half a second between the 2 steps. It's great to watch Pratik taking the battle to Asposito. Asposito is an unbelievable driver in the GT Sport world, and Pratik right now taking super battle. He's bringing all along, but I think that he's made a little bit of a mistake that's given actually a little bit of a lead. And Kunal now coming back at him around the inside that last corner, pushing him wide a little bit. Kunal now taking that position as well. Oh wow! This is so crazy. Racing
As
is
you were saying that on the last corner, I think Aditya made a small mistake and he was actually overtaken by Patrick.
they both won in the pitch right now. So Aditya and Kunal, I mean Aditya and Patrick gone in the pitch, which means Ashwin now, ladies and gentlemen, comes on the race leader, followed by Kunal. So this is working out very well for Ashwin. With 2 laps to go ahead now, with Patrick there we go. He's coming out in third place. Aditya Patel in fourth place. Pratima Prakash now in third place. So Ashwin has made the most of that early pit stop. Made it count because he's got made those overtakes matter as well. Out in the first place right now with Kunal Vinod now in second place and Patrick the Machine Blossom in third place. So he's not very far away from Kunal right now with what 8/10 leader and he's catching him very quickly. He's going to make no work of Kunal in no time and get past him and then go after Ashwishito if he can. But there we go. Williams Tomorrow's Williams Esports driver. Wow, the inside. Kunal's not making it hard for him at all. He knows he's not going to hold him up and all. But there we go now. 2.7 seconds. We're going to be able to catch Ashwishito because Ashwishito, that was absolute genius in the pit stop. Coming on ahead and into the last sector. You see Ashwishito now in the Dunlop chicane as well. With Patrick not very far away. 3 seconds behind him. Arthur Patel now up in fourth place. So it's brilliant now as it settles down with 2 laps to go. This is, I think, coming in the last 2 laps. There we go. Patrick's taking on half a second of Ashwishito. This is getting super close towards the end, Sohail.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the line is pretty far from the last corner, and if Patrick is able to get into Esposito's slipstream, that's going to give him all that speed down the main straight, and he might even be ahead of Esposito as he crosses the line. So that's going to be interesting. And we do have now Aditya Patel up into P3 as Kunal made the pit stop now.
Now that's brilliant showing from up in the peak. Well done from our man, the co-founder of UltimateE. A great battle up between Pratima Prakash and Kunal Vinod for fourth and fifth. They're not very far ahead in Aditya Patel. But I think the best lap, I think the fastest lap right now is being set by Patrick the Machine. He must have taken a couple of seconds out of, he must have taken a second at least out of Ashwishito. But there we go. He's now 8/10 behind, Actually, he was super close between these two. Coming in the last sector into the Dunlop chicane as we go. Ashwishito right now going to hold off. Patrick the Machine Blossom and like Pearl said, he's found it. Coming around the Southern line. He's very far. And this last sector, Patrick now trying to get do everything he can. Go around the outside, right? Different lines. They can get there and drive. And as they now come around the last corner, has Patrick got enough? On the outside, and Ashwishito made an effort to sing gone wide. Yes, he has. That's going to get Patrick the Machine Blossom. Oh, the win.
Wait, hold on. There's a slipstream left.
He's coming back out of the Patrick is going around the field.
Oh, 0.007.
That was James Bond finishing across the line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a fish across that line between Patrick the Machine and Ashwishito Kahal. Aditya Patel in third place. Aditya in third place. How was that drive?
It was good fun. I think there was a lot of chaos behind, so I knew there was chaos. I was watching the time between me and Brad's, and it stayed at 3 seconds, so I knew I was quite safe. But it was good fun. Not too much action though.
I mean, right up ahead, if you look at the timings, if you look at the timing screen, it was a cracker in front of ladies and gentlemen. There we go, a race winner for the second time, and what a win on the last corner as he takes it. Patrick the Machine Blossom, Williams Wallace, or Williams Esports driver, takes the win in race number 2, and with that, takes the championship of UltimateE Battle of the Beast. He will be crowned the champion. But Ashwishito Kahal, take nothing away in it. Look at those timing screens. He is 1,000th of a second behind Patrick the Machine. That was such a crazy finish. Arthur Patel in third place, Kunal Vinod in fourth, Pratima Prakash in fifth place, Pratik Panya in sixth place, Dylan Zapia in seventh place. So great recovery drive by him. Arthur Raghav, I wonder what happened to him this race because he's only finished down in eighth place. Ravi Kiran, Lee Keshav and Shami round up the top 11. So there has been some mad racing today, Sohail, through and through. And that last race for that championship, you know how much that meant to Patrick because he gave it all at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what Esposito went for in the last corner. I think knowing that the amount of slipstream that the game has, he tried to let Patrick go so he could take all the slipstream. And like I said, the gap between the last corner and the line is pretty long, so the slipstream may come into effect. And he did try it; it did work, but he was just a touch too far behind.
Yeah, and that's exactly like Sohail said. It was just way too good that last one of racing, and that's what we've been treated to, ladies and gentlemen, of the last couple of days. This Ultimate East Battle of the Beast, the Chileans, Argentinians, Hungarians taking to the. We've been treated to some unbelievable racing over the last couple of days, and especially with reverse grids in race number 2, like we saw the last time out in Mount Panorama. It has not disappointed us here today in Fuji with Patrick the Machine taking the win and the championship. This has been brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Ultimate E's Battle of the Beasts. We will be back on Saturday and Sunday as usual for some Formula One and iRacing, and it's going to be some exciting racing, some exciting tracks, and most importantly, some exciting names. So Sohail's going to be driving there, and I can't wait to commentate while Sohail's back on the track again. But thank you for joining us, Sohail. It's been great having you through these last couple of days, commentating on GT as well. And best of luck with all the practices coming ahead for the iRacing over the weekend.
Thank you.
All right, and there you heard it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Good night, and we will see you on Saturday.